Seaton's brushed out at one. He's over the line. Yes, it's a try. And well deserved by Gary Seaton. He's tried hard all game. 6 minutes before half-time, he's got the trump.
Yes, Wynnum-Manly, they're really pounding away at the Valley's line. It seemed inevitable that they're going to get across, and it came from the previous ruck to that, a Des Morris inside pass. There it is again, that one to Seaton, brushes through a couple of feeble tackles and goes across for a strong try.
So 10-3 the score, 2 tries to 1 at this stage, and only 5 minutes till half-time. Neil Moy. And that's a good kick. 12-3. Affleck really tackling above his weight. Saunders. Duncan. Walsh. Bad pass from Duncan. McConnell has it. And that's half-time. With Wynnum-Manly leading by 12 points to 3, having scored 2 tries to 1. Well, Wynnum-Manly playing copybook football in the first 40 minutes of this game and deserving leaders by 12 points to 3. Of course, the interesting incident in the first half was the send-off of Lindsay Gill in the 27th minute, and incidentally, that's the second time this season he's been sent off. He was fined previously for being sent off against Norths on the 10th of May, so you'd think he would have learned, because his side really up against it in the second half with 12 men. Dave, can Valleys win from here?
Well, they're going to find it very difficult, Peter, in particular with the possession that Wynnum-Manly have enjoyed since Gill's been sent off, and I think that possibly must tip the scales well in favour of Wynnum-Manly. They were looked a better side really even before the Gill send-off, because they've backed up better. They've made around about the same number of half breaks as Valleys, but it's their backup that's been so impressive. If they get the possession that they've had since the Gill send-off, then they could run in convincing winners. Players that have really impressed me so far in the match for Valleys, I thought Dennis Ride and Mick Hickey, the 2 replacement players, have been very good. For Wynnum-Manly, the both halves, Camburus and Saunders, have been dangerous every time they've touched the ball. Neil Moy has enjoyed his senior status in the centre, seeing Gene Miles is with the state side, and of course Gary Seaton's putting in another very strong match. Wynnum-Manly with the possession, I think, should run out convincing winners in the second half.
Got penalties 22-7, won the scrums 12-7. Summer. But on that occasion, Valleys kept 13 men on the field. Strudwick. Svensson. Summer. Ride. Nice pass to H. McSween, and he'll go over without a hand being laid on him. And full marks to Dennis Ride. He's deserved that. I think he really set that try up.
Yeah, great work from Dennis Ride. And it was interesting here to watch this ruck, because Strudwick purposely, after this play the ball there, purposely comes across to the right-hand side of the ruck to draw as many Wynnum-Manly defenders as he can. He knows he's not going to get the ball. The call's already on the left, and he's just standing there just to think, because most of the play normally comes through Strudwick. Beautiful little ball here. Out to McSween, and McSween runs well. Poor attempt by Seaton to take him out of play. Strudwick and Morris end up in the sin bin that day.
So Valley's back in the hunt. 12-6 the score now, and this is an important kick for McNeil. It'll put them within 4 points.
7-1 in the second half. It's been a great defensive performance for this 20 minutes by Valleys, and that was a fair indication of the defence and tackling that they put on here this afternoon.
Saunders, Johnston, Saunders again. He's got Camburus there. Here's the chance if they can get the loose ball, but they can't. And Strudwick, you see, carrying on the play, even though there's a knock on. Play the whistle is the adage. Very tired looking bunch, this Valley's pack. They're going to get tighter. Saunders brushing off one, brushing off another, and he's going to go in and score. What a great little try. And how this fella specialises in scoring tries round the scrum base.
He's one of the most alert players from the base of scrum, and must be so strong, Terry Saunders, because he's not a very big man, but he's certainly got strength in those arms and legs, because even with players grasping at him, he can still get away. There's one, there's Strudwick trying at him, Mills trying at him, but they can't get him. Swenson certainly gets to him, but he's too much momentum to get across the line.
That was a great run by Saunders, his 6th try for the season, so he's one of the leading try scorers in the Wynnum-Manly club, behind only Ian French. He's equal with him, in fact. There's the kick by Moy, and he's raised the flag, so that makes it very difficult for Valleys now. Green, Duncan. For a minute like he was going to kick the ball then. He's got this great ability to slip the pass away as he's going down to the ground. Morris, Seaton. Seaton going. He could get his second. He's so close. Last tackle. He can't play the ball. They're just sweating on him so much. Green, Saunders. Oh, great defence, Valleys. Well, that looked a try for certain, but Gary Seaton, a very alert player. Saunders. Bullock. Oh, clever play by Wayne Bullock. He's dummied his way through, found Neil Moy. There's Camburis, a magnificent pickup. And the support there in Walsh. That's a lovely try, the try of the match to Brian Walsh.
Well, Tony Camburis is a brilliant 5'8", there's no doubt about it. And this sort of handling, because I don't think that New South Wales can come up with what would be a particularly daunting side by any means. They've had a number of injuries. As we know, Paponis has been out for a while. Craig Young is now out injured. And I don't think they're going to come up with a combination that's really going to scare this Queensland side too much.
Here's Des Morris on the rampage again, and he's found Walsh. Walsh has got too much pace, and he should go in and score in the corner. Yes, his second try in the space of 2 minutes, and DJ set it up.
Well, it's inevitable that once the side has been trying to tackle for this long, that they must eventually crack the side, because I thought Lewis played that far over him in that first match that it would surprise me if they still stick with him next week.
Beautiful play by Strudwick here, onto Ride. Ride gets it away to Affleck. Here's the try coming up from Plater out to Affleck, and then to McNeil, and he's over. And that's the first try that Valleys have scored since way back in the 43rd minute of the game.
Well, somewhat of a consolation try, but it needed a little bit of variety. And if Valleys had a little bit more ball in the second half, maybe I wouldn't have to wear a cap next week. But let's have a look at this now, because Strudwick does that little bit of variety. He puts a little chip kick over the top, regains it himself, and then Valleys shows some good backup here to follow through and score. Watch this again. Well, Judge kicked this by Strudwick. Just a little chip, just enough. Dummies the outside, looks back on the inside. Here comes Dennis Wright, one of their better players. Looks on the outside. Good work there from Plater, I think it was. Pops it out to Affleck. Affleck on to McNeil, and McNeil just enough pace to make it to the line. There's the tackle there by Moy. No, it was Witt and McNeil going across to score the try.
So the score 25-11, and regardless of the result of this kick, there's no way Valleys can win the match. It's not a bad-looking kick by McNeil. It hits the bar. Bad luck. A player sent off in Lindsay Gill in the first half. So Wynnum-Manly, you can't stop them. That's their 8th win in their last 9 games. They're joint leaders of the premiership with 16 points, equal with Redcliffe. And today the full-time score, Wynnum-Manly 25, Valleys 11.
Well, Lindsay Gill, I won't forgive you for this embarrassment, but I thought I'd get it over this afternoon and I'll have to wear it next week. But Wynnum-Manly fast becoming the entertainers of Brisbane Rugby League. And whilst Des Morris sent the final pass for 3 of the 5 tries scored, I felt that Brian Walsh's first try was the best. It was created by a brilliant pickup by Tony Camburis, and Tony Camburis received the $100 for the ABC Winfield Try Award.
Saunders. Bullock. Oh, clever play by Wayne Bullock. He's dummied his way through, found Neil Moy. There's Camburis, a magnificent pickup. And the support there in Walsh. That's a lovely try, the try of the match to Brian Walsh.